Thank you for showing interest in being a deal finder. My name's Dane Peterson, and this video will walk you through how to get the app installed and log a deal.
The papers that I handed out to you talk about at the very top, so the actual name of this application is called DealMachine. That's the little icon. I put the icon next to it just so you'll notice it when you see it on the App Store and when you go to download it. Notice what I have here is this link at the very top will actually take you to our deal team. So as soon as you enter this on your phone, all you're going to have to enter is your name, your email address, and a password. And make sure you remember your password. It doesn't ask you twice. It just asks you once. Once you put that in, it's going to send you a text message, and it's going to let you guys download the app. So the one thing I'm going to ask is before you guys all leave here today, let's just make sure you guys can actually get the app and get logged in. Because when you guys do that, it'll throw you onto the team. So we'll be able to see, and you guys are going to be able to get up and running and start using this the second you leave here. So let's get into what it is exactly. So this app lets you, while you're driving around and say you see a distressed property, a rundown property, something that just looks like an opportunity, a property that could be vacant. What you can do with this app is you can load this app up, or you could have already had it. It's going to show you a map of where you're at, and you can drop a pin right on the house. And what's really neat is it's going to load up the information when you click on the plus sign, which is to add it. And as soon as it adds it, it lets you take a picture then of the house. And what we do is we take the picture of this house, and it tags it to this property, and it puts it in a pending queue for me to approve it. And when I approve it, what Mark and I are doing is we're going to pay for the marketing to send out these postcards to these homeowners and see if we can't try and track them down and purchase these properties. And this right here is actually the postcard that gets sent out. So I mean, before we started putting more money into this, we wanted to make sure this actually worked and see what it looked like, and it's really neat. The idea is that you guys are going to get incentivized when we can close one of these properties. So this is what I'm talking about. When you're out there and you just see one, it doesn't matter if you're finding a couple a week, you know, you're throwing 20 a day in there. I'm going to go through, I'm going to review these, and you know, as long as it's something that does look like it meets the criteria we're looking for, which we'll go over, we'll make sure you can get paid as soon as we can close on this property. And what we're going to do is, as long as it meets the criteria, we're going to promise to send out at least 3 postcards to that owner over the course of about a 3-month period. So it's a little bit of a drip campaign. The DealMachine app aside, this is not the only way to find properties. This is just a tool to help you guys quickly capture these properties. But if you guys happen to have that friend or family member, somebody that does want to sell the property, that's always something you guys can bring directly to us. You don't have to go through this app. This app's a way for properties where we don't know who that owner is to log them, and we can target them that way. So the next important thing to talk about is what's going to be a good property to log into this application. Now, on the bottom of this sheet here, under that third heading, identifying the distressed properties, is just it's a pretty lengthy list of what's going to make a good property for us. Some general things. You're looking for that tarp on the roof of a property, or you're looking for broken windows, boarded up windows, anything that makes it feel distressed. And that perfect target house for us is going to be one that when you load it into the DealMachine app, it's going to show you the address for that property. It's also going to show you the mailing address for the owner for these properties. And when you see that those two aren't the same, they call that an absentee owner. And an absentee owner is exactly what we're looking for, because usually that's going to be a motivated type seller. That seller that has a little bit, possibly there's going to be a greater desire or interest in selling that property. It's probably a rental property of theirs, maybe a property they inherited from somebody. We don't really know how they got that property, but we know it's not their homestead or their primary residence. So those are the type of properties we like to go for. So going back up right above where I have that identifying the distressed properties, once you're logged into the DealMachine app, I broke down the steps of what it is to add these properties, and it's really simple. Again, it's just you place the pin, so you tap on the actual property on the app. You're going to take a picture, and the one thing I'm going to ask is you take the picture. If you log a property and you don't take a picture, as you saw in that postcard, it's just going to be blank. So there's not going to be a house, and that's the whole point of this app. Is it's a customized, tailored postcard. Yeah, don't put yourself in the picture. Try and keep try and keep maybe your door frame out of the picture. You know, I mean, these don't have to be professional pictures, but the one thing I would ask is try and fit like most of the house in it. And like Jill said, if there's a real eyesore on it, like it's the roof, maybe make that maybe the center of that picture where you can still see the house. You know, if it were me and I'm not in real estate full time, I would just be telling myself, okay, on the way to the rehab house I'm working at, or on my way to my job, I'm gonna stop through this neighborhood. I'm gonna drive 10 streets, and I'm gonna try and find 5, 10 properties, and just set yourself a goal. When I go through these to approve them, I'm really just gonna be looking to make sure you guys threw a actual picture on there, which is really easy for me to see. I'm gonna look at the picture. You know, there's a lot you can tell from the picture. That's really how you guys are identifying these too. So it shouldn't be a property where I see 2 cars sitting in the driveway and the grass looks manicured and it's perfect. You know, I should be able to see something on the property that identifies it. So one other thing I'm going to say, besides these properties where you see the absentee owner, if you do pin a house and you see that it is the same address and mailing address and it's not an absentee owner, I would ask that you just skip it unless the house just looks really, really bad. And if it does look really bad, I'll still send probably 1, maybe 2 postcards to that homeowner. It's not to say we can't find a deal out of that, but there's not going to be as much of a motivation level. And we're going to be the ones taking on that expense, and you guys are going to make that paycheck when we find a property just from you guys logging these. So, it's up to you guys if you want to log 100 properties a week or 10. But our commitment is that we're going to send the postcards out on our own dollar for you guys doing that. It's amazing when you drive through these neighborhoods around town. I mean, when you really start focusing on it and looking for it, how many of them you're going to find. I mean, you'll probably find 2 to 3 per street, depending on where you're driving around. Only thing I'll say you got to be careful of sometimes is some of these neighborhoods, they might all look distressed. It can get tough sometimes if you're in those neighborhoods, but again, it's really just looking for these main indicators here. And again, I'm going to go back to outside of this app, if you happen to know somebody that wants to sell, if you're able to put a property under contract yourself and bring it to us, that's going to be an opportunity for you to get more involved and get a larger payout on a deal and really just see how the process works. And that's what we want, is you guys to get the most out of this, learn what it is you want to learn, or just put some extra money in your pockets. I would like to just open this up to questions about the app, but while we're doing that, again, I want to have everybody go to this website, and let's just make sure you guys can actually get it on your phones. If somebody in here has already logged that property, it won't let you add the record. In the past 2 weeks, and we've had about 200 deals entered, and I've had that come up one time. But it's going to start to happen, I mean, Manatee, Sarasota County is a large area. You guys aren't going to all know who's going through an area, but you all have a different eye. You all have, a different gut feeling when you look at things. And the idea is, you're going to log the ones that you feel are a good fit. If you do want to learn more about real estate, a great thing to do is learn an area. Make that your expert area. Comb those streets. Get out there. I mean, if you see a vacant house, there's nothing that says that all you have to do is take a picture. I mean, if you guys have, the desire to do this, you might want to get out of your car, pull right up to the house, get out of your car, go knock on the door and see if someone's there. And if you see some neighbors outside, talk to those neighbors. It's all about just taking those actions, being out there. And when you do that, things are going to happen. I see it a little bit different than you guys do. I get more information. Once you guys log in the property, I'll see a little bit more information because there's steps where I actually have to approve these and then click send the mail. So there is more legwork that goes into it, and it's a little bit, there's more information than what you guys are seeing. Since you guys are part of the deal team, it's just letting you guys see, okay, the property address, and you can take the picture and log it, and then you guys move on. You don't have to focus on it. That brings me to another point. There are something on some of these called tags. Not on some of these, all of them. I have pre-built-in tags, so you can actually click on bad roof. There is one I have for FSBO, F-S-B-O, for sale by owner. So if you see something and you want to add that extra note or comment to it, you can actually just click on it and it's going to add that tag. If it's a bank-owned property, it's really tough to get in touch with the right person at the bank, and they have so many steps of the process. It's better just wait and see it hit the MLS as a REO property.
Keep in mind, the app is always being updated, and if you experience any problems or have questions, email me at greatdaneproperties@gmail.com. Thank you.